Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Present.
Greg Miller.
Present.
Megan Sheets.
Present. Okay, we have the minutes from the November 27th, 2023 regular meeting.
Yes, I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of November 27th.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the claims approval. I think Megan has those, yep.
Yes, sitting right here, and I'll make the motion that we approve the claims that Carol submitted this evening.
A second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, do we have any public comments? Nothing? Okay. Next, we'll go to the department reports. Police Department, Chief Shoemaker. We're being serious.
All right, let's be serious. Good evening. Let me get my notes here. Tonight, you have an approval for the maintenance mechanic position. I wanted to add records clerk and 3 police officers to that agenda. I'm sorry, I did not. Huh?
I think you mentioned it to me and I,
No, I don't think so. It's
No.
on me.
okay.
Okay,
It's on
so
me.
we're doing the maintenance mechanic.
Records clerk and then 3 police officers.
I got he sent an email earlier.
Yeah, I did. I sent an email
Yes.
this morning, but, so I do apologize for the change to the agenda, but for the first, the new hire for the maintenance mechanic, we received about 14 applications, but 1 rose to the top with his experience and knowledge of building maintenance and fleet maintenance. We really have a great applicant in Brian Pollard. I'm requesting the board approve the hiring of Brian Pollard effective January 1, 2024. And with his 10 years of service at the Clinton County Sheriff's Office, I'd ask that he be credited in vacation days only for the next 10 years until he actually completes 10 years here. We do this with lateral transfers for police officers. I believe that his experience and he's everything that we need for this building and our department, as well as vehicles with knowledge. And there's not much training to do here. So I would ask that you would approve that with that vacation time.
I'll make a motion that we accept the name of Brian Pollard for the maintenance mechanic position to start January the 21st of 24, and add to that that he be accredited his vacation days for 10 years, for his 10 years.
Yes, I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, so that'll take effect January 1st of 2024.
January 1st, yes. A records clerk. Early on in our search for the records clerk, my part-time employee was in college, and she has a future goal of becoming a Frankfort police officer. So if she had been interested, I would have just promoted her. But after 95 applications, I'm asking that the board move her to full-time. If she were to apply and selected as a police officer this summer, my goal is to keep the applications for 1 year from today. Chastity Akert has been with us since January 2023 as an intern, and then moved to part-time beginning in October to fill shortages. I request the board approve the hiring of Chastity Akert effective January 9th, 2024.
9th?
Yes, she's graduating college
Okay.
and has a trip to celebrate that, so I'd rather her hire start the 9th instead of burning all her time off the first week of the year, so.
I'll make the motion we approve Chastity Akerd for the new position as records clerk effective January 9th.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
And we're going to do something different with our new slate of officers, due to the holidays and the timing, I think, of everybody with their families. It's been a long time, I think, more than 20 years that we've ever hired 3 officers at the same time. And so what we're going to do is a special swearing in on December 29th, 2023 at 2 o'clock at the new building at the police department. All three of these individuals have graduated from Frankfort High School. Fun fact, the last 6 officers that we've hired have graduated from Frankfort High School. All have passed all local and state hiring requirements. Jace Moore is, and I'll talk more about them at the swearing in, but for tonight, Jace Moore is coming to us from the private sector. Reese Mitchell is almost finished up with college in Indianapolis. And Ramsey Mitchell, brothers, is coming to us from the sheriff's office as a corrections officer, which another fun fact, I think that's all I've been hiring is corrections officers from the sheriff's office this past few times. So we're glad that they've chosen us. So I'm asking the board to approve tonight Jace Moore, Reese Mitchell, and Ramsey Mitchell as the next Frankfort police officers to be effective January 1, 2024, and then approve the mayor to swear them in on the December 29th.
I'll make a motion, we accept the names of Jace Moore, Reese Mitchell, and Ramsey Mitchell as new Frankfort police officers that will, effective January 1st of 24, be sworn in on December the 29th by Mayor Sheets.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Exciting.
Yes, it is. It's exciting to have those three. Will put us at full staff until we open up the grant. Our online application for police officers just disappeared Friday. So Kimberly is working on that with the whoever
Okay.
company, IT Core, to try to find that. If not, we're going to have to recreate it and put that back in there, which is fine. We've had a lot of interest in that just since Friday. Captain Hall and Captain Stortles will be our recruiters on that, and working with each applicant to answer any questions, invite them to the building, take a tour, and ride along if they would like to do that. The custodian position, we've had probably the least number of applications, but we have some good people in there. My goal is to have a name by next Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the CSI position, we're already over 40 applications. I don't know. We'll probably have 10 people apply for police officer, but we've had over almost 200 people. And real people. We didn't put this on Indeed or Monster and have just everybody from all over. These are a lot of local people, surrounding counties so we appreciate that. And so we will work on that and have it. I don't plan to start that January 1. I would assume that we would get everybody else. We have 3 officers to get going, a custodian, maintenance, and so we'll roll that out.
Okay.
Other than that, we're working on accreditation. I tell you, we bit off more than we can handle, but it is going to be great for our department, the city, to have a accredited police department through the state of Indiana. And so we've added now Brady Sorrells to our committee with me and Evan, and also our policy makers, Lexipol, who handles all of our policies. We've got a lot of work. So it's really good to have that, and I appreciate the board seeing that a few months ago and helping us get to this point. So very few police departments at that level in Indiana, and so we hope to join them by this summer.
Thank you for taking care of that, along with, I'm sure others have helped you, but.
Yeah, I mean, those Evan and Brady are just, I mean, they're doing a lot of this extra, I think they've been in there on Saturdays and evenings, and it's just a lot. Every policy has to, there's from everything from the way we're we thought we were doing it, was good. It's just we're going to be one of the, up in the best of how we conduct business at the police department. So,
Thank you.
you have anything? I do not. Okay. So, thank you. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. That was a good report.
Thank you.
A lot of good things.
Appreciate you, Megan, Greg, Carol, Alicia.
I think he wants a Christmas present.
I'll get him a friendship bracelet.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Handcuffs,
Yeah. Okay, next fire department, Chief Stidham.
Bedazzled handcuffs.
Yeah.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
So what I wanted to bring to you today was the job descriptions for the two positions at the Frankfurt Fire Department. As we have talked about in the past, we've been trying to do some restructuring. We're going to continue to do some restructuring over the next couple of years to try to get not us only to a level that I want our department to be at, but also to be prepared for the new station. So with that being said, the first one I'd like to get your guys' approval on is the training officer. We have a training officer and a firefighter who is going to step up to this role by the name of Jeremy Warren. And one of the things we want to make sure we do is kind of redo our training officer job description. So that I'm asking for approval for the job description for training officer. I won't go through it all. You guys all have those papers in front of you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. This will give us the opportunity now, as we are continuing to hire new personnel, this gives us someone who's going to be there on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, that's going to be working with all these individuals and getting them up to the standards that we set forth for our department.
And Matt, I'd like to revisit, and then just for clarification for media and anybody else
Sure.
listening in. This individual, since he's there daily, but if you have an active situation, he will still be responding to that and using his training in that venue as well to
Correct.
oversee
Yep.
kind of what's going on.
So to kind of answer, yeah, so that way, Megan, to kind of answer what Megan was asking, this individual is not just going to sit in an office Monday through Friday and do nothing but training. This individual is going to be a part of the department, still going to go on calls, still going to respond. One of the biggest things that I wanted for his position was to become more of a safety officer when we get on the scene. One of the things we do not have at the Frankfurt Fire Department is a safety officer. And if we want to meet some of the federal standards, some of the state standards, a safety officer is going to be imperative to have at the scene. So I've talked to Jeremy about that. And so our goal is that when we have a larger incident, that he would be responding to those types of calls and would start to form as a safety officer.
And I think too, in the job description, it goes on and says not limited to firefighting, and then the safety officer, special response for hazmat confined space, which Jeremy is already an active member of all those special teams, so it'd be nice to have somebody who also trains to be there at the scene with that too, so.
Correct. And in our service, at the fire departments all across the state of Indiana, they require certain qualifications in order to be a training officer. And Jeremy has met those responsibilities probably 15 years ago. He kind of strived for this type of an opportunity at some point, and he's worked towards that. So he's got the availability now that he can do all of the trainings. He can manage all of the trainings that the fire department would need. Even the specialized trainings, he has that capability of managing those. So it keeps us from always going outside the department and getting other instructors and paying other instructors as well. And again, it will just enhance the fire department and the quality of training that we're going to receive.
Well, and I think that is something that you've certainly initiated in your tenure as chief, is enhanced training all across the department, which
Absolutely.
is something that we're very happy that you've.
Very proud of.
Me as well.
I would like to make the motion that we approve the training officer job description for the Frankfurt Fire Department.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
The next one I have in front of you is the firefighter engineering. And what this is all, again, this is not just a city thing or a state thing. This is all across the country. Many departments have engineers that drive the fire trucks, and it's their main responsibility. So when we learned that our mechanic was going to possibly be retiring, we decided we need to look at some different options. One of those options is when we go to the news station, we're going to have an engineer there because that's going to be the responsibility is that new ladder truck. So what we decided to do was try to incorporate the engineer job now at headquarters on engine 1. We've always had them in engine 2 and on engine 3, but however, we've never had it at headquarters. The guys always rotated through those spots. What I wanted is to have a little bit more accountability and a little bit more structure on what is wrong with those trucks, what are some of the needs that we need for those trucks, because now that our mechanic is possibly going to be retiring, I don't want that lack of communication to come up from 10 or 15 different individuals who rotate through that spot. So one of the focuses that Josh and Jamie and myself put together was, how do we mitigate this and how do we get in front of it? And the way it was we decided we would just go ahead and create an engineer spot at headquarters. Just want to make sure that everybody understands this is no increase in pay, nothing changes. They are still a firefighter, just like the engineers that's been at Station 2 and 3. So nothing is going to change as far as pay. It's just a new responsibility that will be their main primary responsibility. Now, to make sure that the media also understands, just because they're an engineer does not mean they don't fight fires and that they're not firefighters. We've been doing this for many years at Station 2 and 3. If we get a call in Engine 1's territory, those drivers of Engine 2 and 3 have always been firefighters as well. So nothing is really changing. We're just actually putting together something that says this is this person's responsibility. And as we move forward with the new station, we're already going to have this policy in place in this job description.
I'll make a motion that we accept the job description for the firefighter engineer for the Frankfurt Fire Department.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
So I'll give you one bad news, and then we'll talk about a few of the good news things. So our server has went down today at the Frankfurt Fire Department. I've been in contact with Carol's office. I know Carla has been. We've been in contact with IT. Good news is I think, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, I think we're going to be able to find everything. We had someone come up today who was able to see the files, but they can't open them. So he's got some kind of program tools he can use to get in there. I've talked to Shane about how we fix this problem so it doesn't happen in the future. Their suggestion is we move our server to their facility and they manage the server. I don't know if the police department does it or who else, if anybody else here does, but I do know that that's one of the things that kind of keeps us from losing all these files. Because currently our Carla has now lost basically every file that we have at the fire department, financials, everything, because of this server issue. And I'm being told very positive things that we're probably going to have it back tonight. So just want to at least give you that. That's a little bit of bad news. What I did also present to you guys today, I just want to give you some pictures and some updates on how things are going at the fire department. Some of the concrete work that we've done at headquarters, Station 3. And again, I won't go into everything, but, I just want to at least give you some presentation of, what we've kind of been dealing with, how the things, how everything's progressing. Station 2, we're going to start, I believe, on Wednesday doing a little bit of work there to try to help fix some of the drainage problems that we have out there. The training facility, I think, is the next one that I have there. And I really wanted to bring that to you because in 2019, myself and a few other guys had kind of started this initiative to build this training center. Now, throughout the course of this, obviously at this time I wasn't the fire chief. Now I am the fire chief. But I wanted you guys to at least see some pictures of where we're at. I would say we are 95% complete. The tower has now been completed and stacked. The only thing left inside is for them to install the 3 stories of stairs. So once that is completed, this project will actually be done, other than the painting that has to be done on the other containers that just got put on. But I just wanted you guys to see this because you made an investment not only in my idea, but in our department's idea back in 2019 and was willing to give some money towards this project. With the help of our community foundation, the Clinton County, the city of Frankfurt, as well as other donors within our community. We have now, like I said, 95% completed this project to where, it's going to be, I can't even explain to you the amount of money that we've saved by having this done. I mean, generally, back in 2019, this was about a $650,000 project. At that point, we was estimating it was going to be around $120,000 to complete this project. And currently, we're probably sitting at about $170,000. And if you was to go out and price this training facility today, at today's price, you would probably be over $1 million. So again, I just want to say thanks. Wanted you guys to at least see the progress that we had, and appreciate everything the city has always done for the fire department. Last thing, go ahead.
This is on Station 3, right?
Yeah, that one's on
Okay,
Station
So
3.
what, I see
So
the sidewalk.
Station 3 has never had a area to park other than gravel.
Okay,
It has become flooded out several times. The basement floods. And so one of the ways we had learned to be able to fix this problem was for them to be able to replace the concrete, put a pad in, and that would help keep some of the rainwater from getting down inside where the window well is. You can see it in one of the pictures. There's a small window well there. So they actually raised it up, the window well up, and
that should help
Yep,
prevent
that should help.
flooding.
so kind of keeping with our, our plan that we started almost 2 years ago of trying to get stations upgraded. And again, this is just part of that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And the last thing I will say, and then I will be all finished, is I did hear from McQueen today on Engine 3. We're hoping it's going to come back tomorrow evening or first thing or Wednesday morning. We're hoping. Yeah, I know.
kidding.
Trust me, I don't believe it either. I get told this every day. Oh, it's going to be done.
I know, I've been anxious to.
They said everything has been completed on it. They had to flash the ECM, but for some reason, International Harvesters programming was down today, so they can't program it until this evening, so they're hoping to have it back to us sometime, hopefully tomorrow. And the order has been placed on the engine, so just so everybody knows publicly that has been placed, and we'll probably be placing the order for the aerial probably by the end of this week. So just wanted to give,
Okay.
That's my report.
That's good news.
all right.
Thank you. Okay, Jason Forsythe, Street Department Superintendent.
Good evening.
Hi, Jason.
Don't have a lot tonight. I did want to bring up, I received a call last week from a gentleman that lives at 505 Hot Dog Street, wanting a street light put in out there in that area. After talking with Phil Farrell and Todd and a couple others, we realized that everything is underground out there right now, which would be an extreme cost for an additional street light out there. But it was already on the agenda. I wanted to bring it up, and if we wanted to discuss a little bit, we could. If not, I'll be happy to give the individual a call. There is, I don't know if there's any options at looking at the apartment area or not. I haven't been back in that location, but I went back there the same day with Phil. He went back there, and obviously there's no area for a street light out there. But he did, like I said, he complained. He just lives right around the corner from the apartments on the same side of the road, and like I said, it's pretty dark back there in the evenings and stuff like that. But there used to be one at the very, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Hot Dog when it comes around to Primrose Lane. Primrose kind of goes south. I think that was supposed to extend further south off of Hot Dog, but there used to be a light there, but there's no longer one there either. So, but yeah, everything's underground, so it's going to be difficult to put you have to put up a new pole. I don't know a lot about it, but that's where we are on that. So, I don't know if you guys want to discuss that, or if you just like me to make a phone call to him and let him know for now we're not able to do it, and I can do that.
I also talked with Todd about that, and that's what he said. It would be pretty costly to put something in right now with everything underground. we would have to either bore in there or if we try to put up a pole. Either way, it would be pretty costly. Like Jason said, I wondered if there's anything there by the apartments, if they could do something.
I'm just wondering if
Yeah.
something could be on the facade of the building or
Mhm. That they could do.
dusk to dawn or something.
Right. But I'll give him a call and let him know what's
Thank
going
you.
on, so he's aware, so. The only thing I had to talk about tonight, and I gave you guys a copy of some information I've got received, I guess, recently from our Payzer ratings, and it's kind of interesting. I wanted to just kind of bring it to you and the council tonight, just to talk about it a little bit. But as you can see, we're going to be focusing more on that front page than anything tonight, and I won't take too much time here. But as you can see, we've made a lot of progress since 2000, I guess, 15. I guess I started in 15, but when Community Crossings came in 2017, we've obviously taken advantage of doing things with our roadways in a number of different ways. But as you can see, we still have a lot of rated 2 roads on there at 30.12. These are square miles, obviously. And then you got your 9s, 12.87. And this does not include what we just finished this year. This does not include Washington Street, Fudge, First, those sections of road. These do not include those. Those would all be 10s at this point in time. So, but I wanted to go over those things with you. And at the bottom of that first page, it kind of shows you basically out of 68 to 69 square miles, we are sitting at about a little over half at either a good condition or fair condition. There's not a lot of in between there, but you do see a lot of 6s, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we move forward here on some things I worked on just today. Megan had brought up Harvard Terrace, and obviously when you're here a little while, you kind of forget what years you do things. So I went back into my file this morning and spent some time looking at Harvard Terrace between Clay and Eastwood Court. I was thinking maybe 2017, 2018. It was actually 2015 when we did that section of road. And obviously at that time, it was a 2-rated road. I don't think the city's paved anything. I guess back in 15, we didn't know what a Payzer was, but Harvard Terrace was in bad enough shape to go ahead and do it. It's a very heavily traveled road, getting from the south end over to the east end of our city. We actually had looked at Harvard from Eastwood to Williams to get on this next year's ballot for work to do, and we may end up having to add Eastwood to Clay. But the reason I brought this one up is for that reason. We've talked about rejuvenation. We've talked about how our streets will continue to go bad if we don't do something to keep them where they're at. And Harvard Terrace is one of those that I definitely want to talk about tonight because, like I said, in 2015, which that was a mere 8 years ago, it's went from a brand-new road to another 2-rated road in our city. And kind of to show you what I mean about rejuvenation, and there's a couple pages down from there, you'll see all the different types of treatment options that we have as a city. Obviously, rejuvenation is one of them, but there's all kinds of different rejuvenation. It's what we used and what I'm getting ready to talk about, which is the Reclamite that I've talked about that we've used when we went through RejuveTech. But there's all kinds of different rejuvenation products out there that we can look at. And all of them are pretty much similarly the same cost. They're not obviously as expensive as doing a mill and resurface of a road. But I was told when I first started here by Mike Bowman that about every 8 years, if you don't do something, you're going to be repairing your road. And here we are with Harvard Terrace. So he was on point about that. But looking at when I pulled everything out from 2015 and found Harvard Terrace, also found that was the year that we done Maiden Lane from Hoke Avenue to Williams Road. It was also the year that we done, or 3 years prior to that, in 2012 was when North Mass Road was rebuilt in front of the high school and the middle school. Both of those individual roads are still rated 6. And both of those individual roads, we put rejuvenation on in 2020. And they've stayed at a level 6 for that long. Obviously, 2012, when Mass Road was put in, it was a well-rebuilt road. It was not a mill and resurface, but it was dug down a lot further than that. I'm guessing 5 to 6 inches down. But it's proven in what I've saw in the last 8 years, especially with what I'm seeing here with these. Krug Road was another one that was done in 2015, which we obviously know you got buses, you got farm equipment on Krug Road coming out of the back of the, we go from the school, the entrance to the school on the backside to Freeman Street. That's our area. And that's a 2-rated road from 2015. So that's another one we did 8 years ago that's now a 2. Obviously heavily traveled, obviously big equipment on that road. But I really want to start looking at rejuvenation, so we don't get into that situation. So, something that we did a couple years ago, like Wilshire or Hoke, some of those that we did in the recent past, is something I think we need to focus some of our money looking at rejuvenation moving forward. I know we have those 2-rated roads, but for instance, Barner Street, you guys, it's been talked about with the railroad ties in the middle of Barner Street. It's still considered a 4-rated road. It was all done at the same time. It was rejuvenated at the same time. And the west side of Rossville Avenue is a rated 7. The east side of Rossville Avenue is rated a 4. And it was all done at the same time. So obviously those railroad ties are causing us problems. But it was rejuvenated from the point at Morris Street all the way to Jackson Street and paved at the same time. It's all done with community crossings money. Main Street was another one that we done, I think it was 17, that we rejuvenated in 2020 as well, at the same time we did Maiden and MASH, and it's still a 6 in some spots, 7 in some spots. So it's proven that what we're doing with rejuvenation is working. I know we want to keep continuing to try to do some of these 2-rated roads, but it reinforces what we've talked about with, with how much it's traveled. Like Blinn Avenue is still a rated 4. It was done back in 15. But Homewood Drive was done, and it's not as traveled as Blinn. It was done, and it's still a 7. So we're seeing improvements in different areas, and we have a lot of opportunity for different types of treatments that I think we need to start looking at. Even if it's 3, 4, 5 streets a year to try to do that. But that was kind of the basic reason I wanted to bring that, because Megan asked me about Harvard Terrace. She said, "What about the other part?" My first thing was to her was we hadn't done it that long ago. Well, we did do it a long time ago, and it was 8 years ago, and it's already a 2. And that's disappointing. It's disappointing that I guess it's always nice when you repave it and you see it, but to see that after 8 years that you're back to where you started again, which is what I was always told would happen, it definitely shows, that what people were telling me and what I've learned since then is true. So
So the rejuvenation cannot be paid for by CCMG?
can now,
It can now. Okay.
So it's available through community crossings and at a fraction of the cost to do it. It can, and the thing is our department really doesn't do anything. When those people come to town, they take care of the door hangers, they take care of the traffic. Our department doesn't do anything.
So is it a 50/50 or no, it's not?
50/50.
It's a 50/50, but it's a lot more reasonable
Oh,
to
yeah.
do the
More reasonable because you're not having to mill it.
Yeah, there's no milling involved. It's just, you come in, you lay it down, and if you remember right, it was pink. I don't know if you remember us putting it down, but it was pink, and they lay it down and then sand over the top of it, and then they come back and they test it. And Maiden Lane, I got a test back from Maiden Lane several years ago, and it like I said, it's still a 6-rated road, but was paved in 2015. So, and it's heavily traveled. And I think Harvard Terrace would probably still be the same way if we'd have rejuvenated Harvard Terrace in that section too, so. But anyway, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll talk to the council about it as well. But I kind of wanted to bring it up. I mean, it's been 8 years since I started, and 6 years since we started CCMG, and I know the council and the Board of Works have always supported me and the department in what we try to do with community crossings. But I think it's time for us to, this is just it opened my eyes today, for sure. And I talked to some of the guys at work and said, you remember how long ago we paved Harvard Terrace? And they was like, well, it was just a few years ago. No, it was 8 years ago. So, but anyway, if anybody, I'll probably scan this and email this out to you. This is the 2015 schedule that we did, has the press release that we did back in 15. And I'll put out beside it where those ratings are at right now. And they're kind of all over the place, but it either has to do with either not being traveled much, being traveled a lot, or using rejuvenation. So, that's all I have.
Okay,
Anybody has any
thank you,
questions?
Jason.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Building Services, Don Stock.
Good evening. First of all, I'm going to give you your permit report. Bud will not be in this evening. In the month of November, we issued 72 permits, bringing in a total revenue of $6,146. A lot of the permits that went out, as you can see, has been fences and roofs. You throw in some residential remodels of about 6, partial residential remodels of 3, some detached garages, and additions to existing structures. So a lot has been going on in November. Total revenue in 2022 was $2,267, and 2021 was $5,054, and in 2020, $3,713. That $6,146 in revenue collected gave a assessed valuation for November for over $4 million. Now, a lot of that is the 3 projects going on out at ADM. There's 3 of those projects going on, and ADM is ahead of all that. A lot of activity going on in our office right now, as this coming Wednesday, we will be doing a tech review for the Meadowbrook subdivision, as that is now moving forward, hoping to get it to the Plan Commission by January of next year. Also, we just got information or the plans back for the addition to the middle school project, and that went forward to Westlers along with the Meadowbrook subdivision for MS4 issues, or to make sure that they have all been covered properly. So we have those 2 things. ADA is picking up, and as you know, our very first ADA challenge came in last week, and we've been working on trying to get that resolved. It has to do with handrails on an apartment complex. The last thing that I have for you is a Sharp agreement, a contract with Tom Jameson. There's not been a change to it as far as wordage, other than Tom has asked for a little bit of a pay raise, since he's never had one since he's been doing this project. And I think it's been approved to give him from the county or from the city $2,000, and which would then actually raise a contract to, I think, $8,000. We would like to try to get that done before the end of the year.
Don, may I interject something?
Sure
Since,
can.
Don and I both serve on the Sharp Committee together, and when they gave a report of the additional projects that they were able to do this year, partly due to, in fact, due to the home loan bank, or the federal bank, the way they were apportioning the money or letting the grant timeline come through. It wasn't all a huge rush for everything all at once. So they were making it more fair, but also Tom had his application process kind of in the queue early so he could be as efficient as possible. And the other thing, this additional 2,000, please correct me if I'm not quite right on it, but it isn't entirely for wage. It's also to go towards some office expense
Cost,
that
yeah.
he will incur being stationed, not working from his home in Lafayette, but he wants to work on site here in Frankfurt. And so for some associated operational costs as a result. So it's not entirely for wage. And so, but we were very pleased. And how long has the SHARP program been, has he been involved in the SHARP program?
I think, well, I know he's been there at least 4 years because I've been here 4 years, so,
And even before that?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
But since its inception, there has not been
Increase.
been any increase in this contract. So,
probably 6 years or so,
at
6
least,
or 7, yeah.
yes.
It actually has become a modeled program. They go and do a lot of talking to other SHARP programs because of how they do their work and their preparations for money. If I'm not mistaken, over $1 million worth of homes were taken care of this year as far as money received for the SHARP program from both the city and the county. And but most of that has been coming to the city. So Tom's been very, very good at getting our older residents taken care of so they can stay in their homes.
It's a really good program. I've heard a lot of people that have received the assistance and are very
Yep.
pleased with it. So I think it's something we want to be sure and support.
With Susan Rook from Farmers Bank and
Yes.
Karen Gregerson as well. So it is a very fine-tuned machine, if you will. So we're really happy with their performance. So anything else, Dawn, about the?
I think that's all. If we can get it signed, I know Tom would be appreciative of that.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the SHARP contract for Tom Jameson in the amount of $8,000 for 2024.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
So now, do you have the contract?
I have
or
it.
You got it? Okay, and then you'll get it to Tom.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll need you to sign it and I'll get
Okay.
it back to Dawn or Tom.
Okay. Parks Department, Joel Tatum.
Good evening.
Hello.
I just have a couple things tonight. I have a use application for Prairie Creek Park on August 3rd of 2024 for a wedding and wedding reception for one of our own city employees, Robert Jans. And he will be having alcohol there as well, done by Slabby. So I would like to get that approved if I could.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application for Robert Jantz for August the 3rd, 2024 for Prairie Creek Park.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, you have the approval.
The next thing I have is a approval of an applicant for our new full-time position that will start January 1st. We have been granted by the council a new full-time position, and I would like to offer that to Devin Henry, who was a part-time employee up until September when he had to leave because he had to have health insurance. So he would like to come back, and so I would like to offer that position to him.
Has he started yet?
No,
Is
he,
it ratification or? is it-
no, it's an approval. He won't start till
For the
January
new
1st. Yeah.
position, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, has he done the background and everything?
No, we'll.
Okay,
You asked me to bring this
Yeah, okay,
before, and then we'll
okay.
do the background, which
okay. So
I'm
that
sure
is-
all that will be okay because he was a city employee.
Yeah, because he worked.
Yeah.
There part-time.
You said that'll start January 1st.
Correct.
I'll make the motion that we approve your recommendation for Devin Henry to return in a full-time capacity with the Parks Department.
And I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Then the last thing I have is just an update. We're in full Christmas mode, repairing lights daily from cars driving through them or rain getting them or fires that melt cords, stuff we always do every day. But we actually, this past weekend, we had our largest donations ever as far as a one-day total. We took in $2,477 on Saturday night.
It's amazing.
So we were $4 short of taking in $5,000 for the whole weekend. So in the 18 days that we've done the lights so far, we are $24 short of $16,000 that we brought in, which is awesome.
Yes. that is awesome.
So that will help repair some of the displays that we would like to have redone, as well as get some new ones for next year.
And I think it pays
just-
part of the bills too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it pays the electric
electricity?
bill.
So,
And then just to give you an idea, Golfing Santa, I had to order a new computer for that. It was a computer from 1999 that ran Golfing Santa, and they no longer make it. So they had to remake a new one for us at the cost of $1,300. So, but it's coming. But it's just things like that we are constantly repairing.
heard a lot of compliments about
We-
CPA and Prairie Creek and just the downtown area.
Yeah.
Your
We
crew
appreciate
did
it.
great.
The staff has done an amazing job. So we hear a lot of compliments too, and that's always nice.
A lot of good things are being said.
Only complaints we've had are the wait times, which I'm okay with.
Wait time, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, Saturday night they were backed up clear onto Washington Avenue in front of Milky Way.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Are the food venues out there during this time, are they successful as well, do you think? Or?
Kettle Corn is successful. We are having issues with the concession stand being open when he's supposed to be open. But that's been a fight that's been a constant fight, so it is what it is.
Work on that.
Yeah. We got a complaint, we got 2 complaints today about that. People came out to eat and it wasn't open. So,
Thank you for that.
but the Kettle Corn lady is there every day. She's awesome. And Traveling Tom's was there over the weekend.
Good.
And so that's always nice too.
Congratulations, Joel, that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, community development, Kimberly Black.
Good evening. I just have a few updates. Muffins with the Mayor is tomorrow at CORE at 8:30, so the mayor will be out there with some of the department heads. Old Stoney's roof has been replaced from the storm damage back in the spring, and so that is the final paperwork that I need for FEMA, and then we will be doing cartwheels down the hallway. So I've already confirmed that checks will be coming in for public safety, utilities, parks, and street, and so this is just the last little bit. It all goes to Carol after this. So that's kind of the last of the storm damage that we had done. I'm meeting with Kim Stevens this week to talk about the RDC funds. So the RDC at the last meeting has agreed to pay or fund a large portion of the concerts at Prairie Creek Park again this year. And so working on finalizing the budget for all the events. And I'll be bringing that to you guys the first part of January. So
And if you would like for any of us to meet with you and you meet with
Yeah.
Kim, let us know. I mean,
Absolutely.
we don't have to, but if you need to. And as I mentioned before, I think it'd be good if you could get that to us, kind of a tentative schedule, so we know what we're looking at before they're actually presented to the Board of Works, so.
Yep.
Because I'd like to know that we're staying within budget, and when it's just kind of pieced into us, it's hard for us to know, so.
You should have that hopefully tomorrow, Kim.
Oh,
okay.
good,
Great.
good.
And then the only other thing, Community Schools of Frankfurt is doing a Blue Chips event. And so the first couple weeks of January, I'm excited the downtown merchants and Main Street are getting involved with that and doing some window paintings and some different decor to kind of tie in the Blue Chips to bring it back to life. I don't know, I was in first grade when this whole thing happened, so all I remember is the ice cream.
We don't remember it, do we, Greg?
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little, yeah.
So, and Eric Farley, who's been putting this on, we've been talking, and he said the ticket sales there's quite a few already sold. So, just wanted to bring that up. After the first of the year, the holidays don't slow down. We go right into Blue Chips. So, I don't have anything else unless you guys do.
I can think
Don't have anything.
All right. And our website is being worked on. So, Chief Shoemaker's.
So he can get his
Yes.
posting back up.
Yes.
Okay. HR, are you going to take care of this, Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have before you the handbook language pertaining to the 3/4 paid time off position that will be our cleaning person starting in January. The copy should be redlined. I do see on the last page, there's a small mark, like something was done, but I can't see any language that pertains to this here. In any case, we think we got everything covered that needed to be for this change.
I did have the opportunity to look through things, so thank you for having a mind meld to get all the right language together. Appreciate it. So I would like to go ahead and make the motion that we approve the changes to the employee handbook that will accommodate the 75% rate of paid time off accrual.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you, Carol, for working on that.
Do you want me to go ahead and?
Yes, if you want to.
So our HR consulting firm has sent a new contract. There is a price increase that corresponds to that. My recommendation is that we stay with this group. They've been easy to work with, and I feel like they give us the HR support that we need.
Yeah, I spoke with Cheryl the other day. I went up and asked her a little bit about how that's been working out, and she said they've been a lifesaver on a lot of different occasions, and she used them on a regular basis. So it sounds like it's very useful for HR to have this service. So I'll make a motion that we accept the HR contract with Invigorate.
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you. We do appreciate that. This has been a really good relationship for Cheryl, and I think the mayor will
Oh,
attest to
yes,
that
yes.
as well.
It's worked out really well for the city. And I mean, we have to make sure that we have somebody there to consult with when it comes to these HR matters.
Meeting schedules?
Yes. Let's see, Board of Works meeting schedule. That's this one, isn't it?
It's Board of Works and Council. There are asterisks near the dates that had to be moved due to a holiday, and then there's also a caret beside each council, or excuse me, beside each Board of Works date that doesn't include a council meeting. So right now, the council meets just the second Monday of the month, and the Board of Works meets second of fourth. Other than those changes due to holidays, this is consistent with that.
Individual motions for this, is that correct?
I think we'll just do the Board of Works, yeah, and then the council portion would be done. Is that sound right?
I'll make the motion that on the 2024 meeting schedule, we approve the notations regarding Board of Works meeting times.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, and then you'll make sure this gets to the.
We'll get this out
media.
to the media and all
Okay.
the departments.
Okay, thank you.
And then finally, we have the Board of Works planning session schedule. Beginning last year, we started changing the meeting dates to correspond to the Wednesday prior to the actual meeting, which seemed to work out better for everyone since it's, instead of, the way it fell before was after the meeting, so it was kind of a long wait between that planning session and the next meeting. So this again just follows that same schedule. I think there's one time on here where we hit a holiday, we had to move it to a Thursday.
Yes.
Any questions about that?
Nope, I'll make a motion that we accept the 2024 Board of Works and Safety Planning meeting session.
And I will second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay,
And I
thank you.
think that's everything I had.
And then those, I guess, are sent to the media as well.
Yes, we'll get those
Those are
out tomorrow.
Advertised meetings.
You don't, both documents you'd also send to all the department heads. too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any unfinished business? Anybody have anything? Alicia? You don't have anything?
Everything I had has already been covered.
Okay. Under new business, we've hired a new assistant that we need when necessary in my office, when my admin has to be out. So we've offered the position to Bethany Sheets. It's probably only going to be a few times a year. It's just if somebody's sick or if she's on vacation, just to make sure that we have somebody that will back us up. So this is to ratify that hire.
I'll make a motion that we accept the name of Bethany Sheets for the mayor PRN assistant.
I will second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Pretty soon, Mayor, you'll have every sheets. in your
Sheets or
office.
sheets?
Working your administration.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Okay, Shan. Ready, Grant? Presentation.
I figured you're pretty tough being a wrestling coach. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Hope you're all doing well on this Monday evening. The mayor had asked me to come and kind of give an update on where we are on some, mainly the Meadowbrook project for Ready, since that is the one that's in the hopper and kind of moving down the road. We've had we've had many meetings with Ready in the last year and a half. Ready, if you don't realize, it's the state initiative that's been designated $500 million. The Ready 1 was $500 million. Ready 2 will be $500 million. Ready 1 was associated with the ARPA funds, and was given to given to the state of Indiana. And so the state decided to carve that money out and use that for economic development. So it's a regional economic development accelerated initiative. That's the whole acronym of READY. So it's designed to increase the value of regions. Our region is the North Central Indiana Regional Partnership. Most of you know we pay into that because that has the comprehensive economic development strategy that's involved in, which allows us to go after other grants like we did at the I-65 28 project, which was a $3 million infrastructure grant. And you have to have that comprehensive economic development strategy to be able to to apply for any federal dollars through EDA. So the READY project that everybody I think is excited about, when we submitted projects to the state, the committee, Clarence on that committee, Russ Caspero's on that committee, Karen Gregerson on that committee, Stacy Dollahan from Ivy Tech, also Tristan Comagese at the time was with the YMCA on that committee, and Liz Stitzel as well on that committee. So we had a variety of different projects throughout the region. There was about 60 projects that came through the region. Only 20 could be selected, and it was a lot of back and forth. And so one of our projects that we want to focus on tonight is the Meadowbrook project. And to show you where we are, it's a 1.5 million ask for the Ready Grant. It's also a 1.5 million matching grant from the city, or matching dollars from the city. The city matched their portion in cash with the $750,000 ARPA money that was received. The rest of that is being presented as in-kind funds to the region, and we have submitted what we have, and we're waiting for the region to either approve or say, well, you got to go back to the drawing board and ask and look at some more. Don been very helpful in getting information to us as far as numbers that have been spent in infrastructure. You know, one of the things that we are asking the state to consider is that we were under a moratorium, as most people know, for approximately 3.5 years, that we were not allowed to put any more development on any of our wastewater pipe, because we had reached the maximum of wastewater allowed by IDEM, and that included even a housing development. So, of course, the city and Utility Service Board agreed to go into that bonding and use that bonding capacity for that $30 million expansion, which is certainly, and we've requested the IDEM. I know the state is wanting the IDEM letter that for the moratorium, so we're going to be submitting all that. Alicia has all the official documents as she's going through all of that. We're on a very fast timeline. We have to be under contract. The good news is that, you know, our developer is excellent to work with. It's F&K, the Wildcat Creek LLC is the developer. F&K Construction are the folks that have been working in our community. They did the Southridge project, and then they're moving forward, and they purchased the land that Meadowbrook Phase 2 is in from the Crumbs. And so that has all been done. That's been closed upon over a year ago. We had a meeting probably about a year ago, right, Don, up at the chambers upstairs to make sure, going over all the infrastructure with everybody, and to approve basically, to your pleasure, what that development should look like. And I think it's going to be great. At the end of the day, it's going to add about 130 new homes into our community. We'll start with about 40, it looks like, in that first phase. We tried not to use the word phase. Ready doesn't like the word phase. They like the word to full completion, or the term to full completion. So that's kind of what we're working off of. But I'm here to answer any questions, and just wanted to give the Board of Works an update on where we were. I know we met with Megan and the mayor and the Finance Committee just last week to talk more about the specifics, but wanted everybody to be on board. And Carol's going to be getting inundated with a lot of paperwork too, so it all has to go through the final processes.
I think just mention briefly that this will become a public works project.
Yes,
So the bid process will go through the
Right.
Board of Works.
right.
January? To decide?
Yeah.
Probably the last.
Because we're going to do the second meeting, right, Alicia?
Second
So,
meeting in
Right.
January.
Yeah.
Right, because getting it in the first meeting in
Yeah.
January was going to be.
yeah, it was a
tough with the
challenge. Yeah.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I'll just say, Alicia's been great to work with, so thank you for being willing to put in the extra and get her done. I do have a call into the Coonses about administration dollars, if they're willing to help us with that, so I'm waiting to hear back. I don't think there'll be any problem, so. I know that was a question I think you had too, so.
Just while I'm thinking.
Yes.
of it, Did I mention, or we talked at one time for the in-kind, the wetland study that they paid for?
Yeah. That's on the list as well. So we have thrown the whole kitchen sink at them. So the thing is, the state does not want to take the money away. They want the money to go to the project. It's just that we have to go through the process of making sure that the in-kind meets the initial requirements. And I will say that Ready 2 is completely changed from Ready 1. I mean, they have changed all kinds of, well, first of all, it's a state oriented. The feds have nothing to do with it, so it's all state ran, all state organized. So they have, I would say, kind of, they're not quite as stringent on some of the criteria that Ready 1. The federal, it's been tough. Every time you turn around, it seems like there's been demographic questions or something, so. But hopefully we'll have some new homes here soon, so that's gonna be the blessing, and create this, create more assessed value. And these are those, hopefully I did want to update, that the Coonses are looking at possibly working on adding the multifamily into that initial phase, since that seems to be a big need. Yeah, so, and it is a concern. We have a lot of folks that need places to rent, so.
Any questions for him? Any-
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you,
All
Shane,
right, no
for-
problem, no problem. Then I'll be back for Donaldson's later, so.
Okay, thank you, Shan. Okay, do anybody have anything else? I'll take the motion. Okay, move second. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alicia.
You control that department.